What's poppin', fellow nerds? Today we have gameplay. This is from locals from, I believe, 2 weeks ago. This is my BlackWarGreymon OTK deck versus purple MetalGarurumon. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt, but if you have not already entered our giveaway for a box of BT4 Great Legend and the accompanying promo packs, make sure to enter that. The link is in the description, but let's get back to the video. I was fortunate to lose the die roll, so my opponent has to go first. He starts off by hatching his Zalmon and Digivolving into Gazimon, and then Digivolving into Meramon to put me to 1. I hatch my Capurymon, Digivolve into my ToyAgumon, and I Digivolve into Greymon to choke him back at 1. Then he Digivolves into Myotismon to choke me back at 1. And I Digivolve into my Andromon for 3 to put him back to 2. And he hatches his second egg, which is a Demi-Meramon, then he Digivolves into Demi-Devimon. Then he hard plays the Labramon. The effect is draw 1 and then discard 1 on play. And I hatch my Capurymon. The first Capurymon I hatched was my 1-of egg, by the way, and the same goes for my opponent. We both hatched our 1-of eggs off the top. And right here I remember that my ToyAgumon I was supposed to draw 4. At the end of his turn. It is mandatory, so even though I forgot about it, we do have to go back and do it if we're able to, since it's not optional. I Digivolve into the Sonorizamon. Then I just hard play a second Sonorizamon to put him to 2. He swings on my security with Demi-Devimon. I'm deciding if I want to block it, and I go ahead and let it through. He checks a MetalGarurumon and dies, and then Demi-Meramon triggers, so he draws 1 and discards 1. He discards Meramon. Then he Digivolves into the Devimon blocker for 1. Then he Digivolves into Lady Devimon for 3. Draws 1 from the Evo, and then draws 2 from her effect, and then discards 2 from her effect. Pretty good card. By far the best ultimate in purple. Probably going to be the best ultimate in purple for a while. So he puts me to 2. I Digivolve into Greymon for 2, go to 0. Then I Digivolve into Gogmamon for 3 to put him to 3. And now I have myself set up to go Buck Wild on the next turn, depending on how much memory he gives me. He goes into MetalGarurumon. Here it comes. Digiburst 2 to activate Nailbone, bring back level 4 and level 3. So it brings back a blocker, and then Lady Devimon's effect gets to nuke my Ricky for free, because he activated an option card. Then he swings into my security for 11, checks a MetalGarurumon and survives. And then Digivolves into a Devimon to put me to 2. So I hatch. I unfortunately don't have 3 memory. If I had 3 memory here, I could go a little crazy, but haven't drawn into a memory setter yet. So I Digivolve into Sonorizamon. So I Digiburst 3 times from Gagumon, and he goes up to 13,000 DP from that effect. Then I try to swing into his MetalGarurumon, and he blocks with Digimon. Then I Digivolve into Greymon to go to 0. And I play my Marcus that I finally drew into. So my Gagumon is actually 13,000 until the end of his turn, so I'm not really worried about him swinging into it. He can kill it with Retaliation, but I'd be okay with that. He Digivolves into Anubismon, and then activates Anubismon effect to play a level 3 Digimon from his trash for free. He swings with Demidev, checks a BlackWarGrey and dies. Anubismon does give rush to anything that's played from your trash that turn, so that's why you can swing with it. And he swings with the Labramon, checks a MetalGarurumon and dies, and then Demimeramon activates, so he draws 1, discards 1. Then he swings with MetalGarurumon, checks a Chaosmon and dies. And then he swings for game after I block the first attack. I am definitely going second for game 2. He starts off by hatching his 1-of egg again, that's funny. And Digivolves into Pyramon. And then Digivolves into Devimon to put me to 2. I hatch my 1-of again, so we both start off hatching our 1-of eggs for the second consecutive game. I Digivolve into Toy Agumon and then Digivolve into Greymon to go to 0. And then I Digivolve into MetalGarurumon to put him to 3. He Digivolves into Myotismon for 2 to go to 1. Then he plays a Demidevimon for 2 to put me to 1. And go ahead and promote my MetalGarurumon. And I Digivolve into WarGreymon to put him to 2. Oh, Zalmon is not a 1-of egg for him. It must be his 4-of egg. He swings with Demidev, checks a Gagumon and dies. I don't know if I agree with Zalmon being a 4-of egg. He plays Matt to put me to 2 and then grabs a Demidev from his trash with Matt's effect. I hatch my Capurimon, Digivolve into Toy Agumon. And I swing into his security for 12k for security +1 from my inheritables. I Digivolve into Greymon to go to 0. Then I Digivolve into Gagumon to put him to 3, which is going to go to 3. And then I have Reboot on my WarGreymon. Reboot and Blocker. He swings security for 2k, and I let it go through. He has Retaliation on that Myotismon, so if I block, I know he'll swing into it with the Myotismon, so that's why I don't block that, if you're curious. Then he Digivolves into Anubismon, and activates Anubismon effect to play Demidev from his trash. And he's trying to force me to block so he can clear my WarGreymon, since he doesn't have a Trump Sword in his hand. My WarGreymon's putting on a ton of pressure because it's swinging for 2 security every turn. Right now, I think he's wondering if it's worth it to crash the Anubismon into my WarGreymon if I do block, if he swings with Demidev. I think he decides it is worth it, but joke's on him, I'm not going to block that. And then he plays Demidev from his hand to put me to 2. Now I have Gagumon and WarGreymon. I Digiburst once to put my WarGreymon to 14,000 DP. And then I play Final Zubagon Punch for 2. Now my WarGreymon is at 17,000. He has Reboot, Blocker, and Security Attack +1 from Final. So now he's checking 3 Security for 17,000. Nailbone. Irrelevant, doesn't have a blocker. Another check, and another check. And then swing for game with Goglamon. And so my opponent forces me to go first, unfortunately. I hatch my one-of egg again. I swear I'm shuffling my eggs. I shuffle my eggs in between every single game. I hatch my one-of egg all 3 games this match. It's crazy. I mean, it's a 20% chance, but like 3 consecutive times. I think he's playing like a 3 Demimeramon and 2 Zalmon Digitama lineup. He does not draw a rookie, so he hard plays Meramon to put me to 3. Looks like his hand is full of nothing but champions. I Digivolve into MetalGarurumon to go to 0. And I have Jamming and Reboot, so I have no reason not to just swing. So I just reboot. I do check a Jack Raid, which causes him to gain 2 memory, so it ends my turn. I was going to Digivolve into a WarGreymon, but that kept me from doing it, but it's fine. And I swing for 7 with Jamming again. And I forgot that I should have drawn a card from Toyagumon, so I go ahead and draw the card. Thankfully that effect is mandatory, otherwise I definitely would have missed several draws during this locals, because this was the first time I was playing this deck. I Digivolve into Dark Tyrannomon to go to 1. And I Digivolve into MetalGarurumon, and then he goes to 3 for Matt's effects. And then I reboot my MetalGarurumon. And it looks like he still has nothing but level 4s, so he hard plays a blocker to put me to 3. And then I forget to draw again from Toyagumon. And I remember. And I swing for 7 with Jamming. And I Digivolve into BlackWarGreymon to go to 0. Swing for 12k for security +1. And then he knows that I can swing 2 more times, so he scoops. And then he shows me his terrible, terrible hand. But I do take the match 2-1. I do appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy seeing this kind of content and want to come back for more. Until next time, see ya.